How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. It's Lex, and today we're going to be discussing Ed Sheeran winning his lawsuit against Marvin Gaye's co-writer. Let's get that right, not Marvin Gaye's family, but the co-writer of the song Let's Get It On. And the co-writer's family, Ed Townsend, was suing Ed Sheeran for the song Thinking Out Loud. And now Ed Sheeran has finally, after 8 long years, has won the case that's been going on here. So let's check out what he had to say.
Thanks so much for being out here. I'm obviously very happy with the outcome of the case, and it looks like I'm not having to retire from my day job after all.
That was crazy, man. He said if he lost this case, apparently it was going to be like $100 million if he lost or something like that, he was going to need to pay back. But he also said that if he loses this case, he's going to quit his music career. He's going to be done with it all. He's just gonna do any more songs, not gonna do anything. Like, that would have been wild. That would have been like this crazy thing that just happened in music if he were to lose this case right here.
But at the same time, I'm unbelievably frustrated that baseless claims like this are allowed to go to court at all. We've spent the last 8 years talking about 2 songs with dramatically different lyrics, melodies, and 4 chords, which are also different and used by songwriters every day all over the world. These chords are common building blocks which were used to create music long before Let's Get It On was written, and will be used to make music long after we are all gone.
Here's the thing with music, and kind of what you see a lot, I mean, we've seen kind of throughout time, is that if you have a little bit, maybe it could be a lyric or the way the song comes out or the way the song is, like, even if you have a little bit of like inspiration from somewhere else, you best believe that if those people want to come for that money, they will, and they will send you to court, man. Because we've seen this a little bit multiple times throughout the year, and this is not the only case that this has happened. So it's unfortunate that creativity in itself has a limiting factor once money gets into play. Like, once, you know, the people who own the copyright or own the thing are like, it's have this weird entitlement over it, which you should. I think you should have a level of like ownership for your songs and music and stuff like that. But like, if you're kind of bulldozing people and kind of just trying to get any little way of you to say, oh, they copied my song, oh, they did this, like, it's very tough, man. So it's hard to kind of like be creative in that aspect, you know.
In a songwriter's alphabet, our toolkit, and should be there for all of us to use. No one owns them, all the way they are played, in the same way that nobody owns the colour blue. Unfortunately, unfounded claims like this are being fueled by individuals who are offered as music experts in musical analysis. In this instant, the other side's musicologists left out words and notes, presented simple and different pitches as melodies.
See, like, that's super tough, like what he said right there. Like, nobody owns the color blue, right? Nobody owns it. You can't trademark it. But with music, you can, right? There is a level of that, and it's super tough because it's like, in one sense, you also want to own you want to own the copyright to the music. And in another sense, you kind of also want to have a creative freeness about doing whatever you got to do. You know what I mean? Not every time somebody paints a mural that they have to pay the copyright, or they have to pay for just to be even using that color on their painting, you know, each color that they put. Like, it sucks that in the music industry, it is like that. Like, if you sample something, if you sample words, or you do this, or you have writers, you do that, like, it's crazy that everybody has to, you know, get paid. And it's an unfortunate thing because, like, it kind of depends on the way you look at it, you know, and it's really hard. It's one of those things one of those lines that get blurred very commonly.
And by doing so, created what I think we proved for all to see were misleading comparisons and disinformation to find supposed similarities where none exist. And I think we proved for all to see that they tried to manipulate my and Amy's song to try and convince the jury that they had a genuine claim. I'm very grateful that the jury saw through those attempts. This seems so dangerous to me. Both potential claimants who may be convinced to bring a bogus claim, as well as those songwriters facing them. It's simple.
Listen, I'm not gonna play the songs just because I don't want to get a copyright strike on the video. Unfortunately, like, YouTube is weird with that, and they will send a strike for me. But funny enough, right? Talking about it, But I think that if you were to play those songs together, there isn't that much, like, you kind of, I guess, in a way, like the way it kind of sounds in Stars, and kind of, but like not really. And also during the court case, they showed him, at a concert, kind of going into Marvin Gaye's song and having a mix of his song going into Marvin Gaye's song. So they used that against him in court, but it's super tough, like, it's super tough because, like, when those things happen, it's a very nuanced problem, you know what I mean? Like, can can you gather, like, inspiration from it, or you don't really understand, because you can get inspired from everywhere. I mean, a lot of songs have a lot of similarities. You can't just say, we own this portion of how it sounds in this instrumental. Like, it's super tough,
Simply wrong. By stopping this practice, we can also properly support genuine music copyright claims so legitimate claims are rightly heard and resolved. If the jury
So there you go, man. He's not against, like, copyright, like, fully not against it, but, like, I guess when he's saying is, like, he doesn't want it to be abused like it is being abused at this moment. Like, okay, for example, right now the whole industry is getting kind of berated with the AI music. If you guys have been listening and paying attention to that, there's AI Drake, AI Kanye, AI all this. Like, I think that's kind of like what they're talking about. I think at that point there is a level of copyright because you're using somebody else's voice and kind of creating your own thing to it. Like, you're kind of manipulating a voice to do these things, and that is going to be crazy over time. Like, who knows what type of, like, liability people are going to have at that point, because it's going to get really deep, and it's just something that has to be case by case. I think, like, it's really hard, and it's unfortunate. Like, what he's saying is that with a case like this, it's kind of like you kind of tiptoeing the lines here,
had decided this matter the other way, we might as well say goodbye to the creative freedom of songwriters. We need to be able to write our original music and engage in independent creation without worrying at every step of the way that such creativity will be wrongly called into question. Like artists everywhere, Amy and I work hard to independently create songs which are often based around real-life personal experience. It's devastating to be accused of stealing someone else's song when we've put so much work into our livelihoods. I'm just a guy with a guitar who loves writing music for people to enjoy. I am not and will never allow myself to be a piggy bank for anyone to shake. Having to be in New York for this trial.
And that's his level of retaliation right there. That's how what he kind of views this whole thing that's going on, is that, to him, it almost feels like there's a level of offense, to him as an artist, to say that, oh, you copy this, and or you copy pasted this. And imagine, like, the amount of work he puts in, the amount of time he puts into his craft, to just say, oh man, you copy the song and that's it, and we're gonna sue you for that. We're gonna take 8 years to sue you. We're gonna get our money back, and now you're gonna be liable for paying us back. Like, it's insane. And what he's saying is right. It's like you kind of, like, need to tippy toe the lines, and that aspect of, like, I gotta watch what I'm saying. I gotta watch what beat I'm using. I gotta watch what chords I'm using. I gotta watch the melody of it, because it's like it could be an inspiration from this, or somebody could do this, or somebody can attack me from this, and it almost creates this level of, it almost limits creativity itself, in a major way, I think.
Has meant that I've missed being with my family at my grandmother's funeral in Ireland, and I will never get that time back. These trials take a significant toll on everyone involved, including Catherine. I want to thank the jury for making the decision that will help protect the creative process of songwriters here in the United States and all around the world.
Apparently, this guy pulled out a guitar. He pulled out a guitar when he was on the stand and played the different tunes on there, and try to show them that, hey, these are two different tunes that are going on. There's key differences here. Like, Ed Sheeran is that guy, man. He apparently played for them as well.
I also want to thank my team, these guys, who've supported me throughout this difficult process, and to all the songwriters, musicians and fans who've reached out with messages of support over the last few weeks. And finally, I would like to thank Amy. Neither of us ever expected that 9 years ago, from our wonderful writing session, that we will be here having to defend our integrity. Amy, I feel so lucky to have you in my life. Thank you.
Damn.
We need
Shout out.
songwriters and the wider community to come together and bring back common sense. These claims need to be.
And by the way, guys, this was not Marvin Gaye's family. This was the co-writer of that song, Ed Townsend. So it was Mr. Townsend's family or estate that went ahead and sued them for that. So just I know that there's a lot of misconception, people putting out his name, but if you do a little, just a little bit of research and go past the headlines, you'll see that it was not actually
Stopped so the creative process can carry on and we can all go back to making music. And at the same time, we absolutely need trusted individuals, real experts who help support the process of protecting copyright. Thank you.
Awesome, man.
Great.
He just seems over it, man. He seems over it. He gave his opinion. It's been 8 long years. We're finally here, and the decision has been made, and he won. And this is gonna show the other people who are just kind of trying to trample on other artists that you can't just do whatever you want. Now, it did take artists like Ed Sheeran, an amazing artist who has traveled the entire world, makes a bunch of money, who's backed for all these companies. I'm sure his label is like he's top priority at the label, so he's gonna have top lawyers. So not everybody's gonna be able to do that, but he was able to do that, and he was successful in it. And I gotta shout out Ed Sheeran here because man, he did his thing and he won, and he did everything he could, and he was passionate about it. You could tell, and that's amazing, man. He's setting the grounds, and he's laying the grounds for what the future is gonna become. You can't just mess with these artists. You can't just mess with creatives. You can't just do what you want. Unfortunately, it does take a powerhouse. It does take a lot of time, effort, and money. But when you got guys like Ed Sheeran, sticking his head out for the creatives, it's an amazing thing. And shout out to him. And unfortunately, this time around, they didn't get to win. But you guys get to win because you're watching this video. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, smash that sub button. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.